The following information relates to B company inventory. Annual demand is given, order quantity is given, reorder level is given, lead time is given. Assume there is a 50 weeks in a year. What is the buffer stock or buffer or called safety stock level of inventory? So we need to remember what is the formula of safety stock. If you're able to recall the formula, then it is okay. So the buffer stock inventory formula is reorder level, whatever the reorder level is, into how much you will consume during the lead time. How much you will consume during the lead time. What is reorder level? Reorder level is a level. If you achieve this level, you will place a new order. So at 30,000, you will place a new order. Okay. So obviously you will take 3 weeks to collect the order. So you have to identify how much you will consume during these 3 weeks. So formula is reorder level minus consumption during lead time. We also call it reorder level minus average usage into average lead time. Sometimes this formula is also called average usage into average lead time. Many of you obviously will recall this formula. So let's identify reorder level is 30,000 minus consumption during lead time. What is the lead time? 3 weeks. Now identify what is the consumption per week. Consumption per week. Sir, annual consumption we know. 50 weeks we know. So if we divide the annual demand over the 50 weeks, we can identify consumption during a week. So consumption during a week. $40,000 divided by, 400,000 divided by 50. So this is 8,000. So there is a consumption of 8,000 per week. How many weeks are there? 3. So technically you are going to consume 24,000. But you have placed order at 30,000. You are going to consume 24, but you have placed order at 30,000. So that means how much cushion you have maintained? 6,000. So 6,000 is the answer. 6,000 is the answer. So you should know this formula. Either this formula or this formula. Both are same. Reorder level minus average usage into average lead time. What is average usage into average lead time? The consumption during the lead time. If lead time is in days, then usage should be in days. If lead time is in months, then consumption should be in months. If lead time in weeks, then consumption should be in weeks. So that's why it's an A answer. Let's move to the next question. Next is a question. The following extracts from the financial statements of I company. The revenue is 2780. Cost of sale is 1612. Inventories are 226. Trade receivables are 417. And trade payables are 198. So this is extract from the income statement. And this is the extract from balance sheet. Mini income statement, a mini balance sheet extract. Extract means a portion from the balance sheet. 10% of the company's sales by value are on cash terms. Important. Purchases for the year is 1451. Assume 365 days a year. Okay. Calculate company inventory holding period. trade receivable collection period, and trade payable payment period. Okay. Inventory holding period. Let's start from trade receivable. Trade receivable simple. Total sales is 2780. But we know that 10% is on cash. So remove the 10%. So that would be the new sales. How much it is? 2780 into 0.9. 2502. 2502. Okay. If you remember the formula receivable days, you will put receivable in the numerator. You will put credit sales in the denominator into 365 days. Into 365 days. That would be approximately equal to 61 days. So you will click 61. Okay. It's like you will click and put it here. Inventory holding period. Purchases are given 1451. And cost of sale is 1612. And inventories are 226 and trade payable is this. So inventory formula. Put the inventory value in the numerator. Put the cost of sale in the denominator. 1612 into 365. So if you solve it, answer is 51. And the last is payable days. Very simple. Payable is 198. And you will write purchases below, assuming these are all credit purchases. Otherwise, in examiner can state that total purchases are this, 30% are cash, 70% are credit purchases. So in payable, you will only take credit purchases, assuming all are credit purchases. 15. 15. Okay. Next is. This question has been tested in different items. Directive company finances its working capital with an overdraft at a cost of 7% per year. Its major supplier offer a discount of 0.5% for settlement of invoices after 10 days rather than usual 30 days. Okay. Assuming that there is a 365 days in a year. This statement correctly explains what directive company should do. Okay. If you recall the formula, 100 divided by 100 minus D. Okay. Total days are 365 divided by reduction in days. So supplier offer a discount after 10 days rather than 30. So reduction in days is 20. Reduction in days is 20. So it is approximately equal to raised to power 9.58. Approximately 9.5. It's 9.5 something. Precisely, it is 9.58. Let's 9.5. I can see 9.5. So these two are not the answer. So compare this 9.5 with the cost of overdraft. What is the concept? Try to learn the concept. If you pay within 10 days, you will get a benefit of 9.5. If you pay late, you will save 7%. Okay. What is the concept behind this? It's a 30 days period. Normally you pay here. Normally you pay here. After a month, you are taking 1 month to pay to your supplier. Okay. How much you will save if you pay after 1 month? You do not have to borrow for 1 month. You do not have to borrow for 1 month. So how much you will save? You are saving OD cost, which is 7% here. But examiner is saying pay now after 10 days. Pay here. Okay, if you are paying early, you will say, give me some discount. Examiner is saying, I will give you 0.5% discount. Okay, what we are doing, we are making it annualize. He is giving us 0.5% discount for reduction on 20 days. If we pay 20 days earlier, our compensation is 0.5. So annualize this 0.5. You can also solve in this way. 1 plus discount rate raised to power 365 over 20. This discount is for 20 days. What is the annualized figure? -1. That is 9.5%. So your benefit is 9.5%. But if you do not take the discount, if you pay late, how much you will save? 7. If you take discount, your benefit is 9.5. If you pay late, your benefit is 7%. So just think of according to the concept. You are a customer, and on the other end, supplier is standing here. You pay after 30 days to the supplier. You are the supplier, I'm the customer. I will pay after 30 days. How much I'm saving? 7%. Okay, you being the supplier, you are telling me, sir, please pay me 20 days earlier. I will give you 0.5% discount. You cannot compare 0.5 with this. 0.7% is annual. Interest cost is always annual. Interest cost is always annual. But 0.5% is for 20 days. So annualize it. Simply annualize it. Sometimes you can also do it in this way. 0.5 into 365 over 20. But this is not a good way. But sometimes our examiner is also doing in this way. Simple. But this is the effective rate. So if I pay 20 days earlier, I will get 9.5. If I pay late, I will get 7. So it's a no-brainer that I will pay 20 days earlier. Means I will pay after 10 days. So that's why it's an A answer. Section B, test candidates' knowledge on a number of, okay. MX company is a multinational company which has been reviewing its working capital management. Component X is given, 25. Trade payables are given. Inventory is given, unit price. Trade payables are given. Bard Co 1000, Colex Co 3200. MS company has received an offer of discount for bulk purchase from Bard Co, one of its major suppliers. Bard company has offered a 0.5% discount on order of 60,000 units or more. MS company currently consumes 240,000 units of component X each year and places 20,000 units at the end of each month. Holding cost for component X is $1 per unit and ordering cost is $250 per order. MS company does not maintain any buffer inventory. Okay. College company, a major supplier of component M to MS company, has offered a 1% discount for payment within 30 days. And currently you are taking 72 days to pay. This is more similar to the previous question. MS company has a cost of short-term finance. Overdraft cost is 6%. There are 360 days in a year. MS company currently has decentralized treasury operations, but it is considering implementing a centralized treasury department. Okay. Using month as a basis, What is the financial consequence of accepting the bulk purchase discount? Okay, let's go to this. So what is current and what is proposed? Okay. What is the annual demand? 240,000. And what is the purchase price? Currently 240,000 units. 20,000. Purchase price is 25. Component X. So annual cost is 240,000 into 25, 6 million. Okay, what is the ordering cost now? You are placing 20,000 units order at the end of each month. So yani, you are placing 12 orders in a month. So 12 orders into order cost 250. 3,000. Okay, holding cost. If you recall, holding cost formula is order quantity divided by 2 plus buffer stock. There is no buffer stock into holding cost per unit. $1 per unit per year. 10,000. So total is 6 million and 13,000. Okay, what would be now? Units will remain same, 240,000 into price will decrease by 0.5%, 99.5. Because it's a discount of only 0.5%. 5970. 000. Okay, what would be the ordering cost? You will place 60,000 units as an order. So annual demand divided by 60,000, 4 orders into 250. 1,000. And holding cost would be ordering cost or ordering quantity divided by 2 into 1. 30,000. So total it will become 601,000. So if we stay with the previous policy, our cost is 6,013,000. If we move to the next policy, our cost will be 6,001,000. So total saving would be 12,000. The total saving would be 12,000. So B beta is the answer. Okay, using days as a basis, what is the financial consequence of accepting early settlement discount? You have to solve in a similar way. Current. Okay. In how many days you are paying now? 72 days. So what is the benefit of delaying payment? Benefit of paying in 72 days. This is your purchases, 240,000 units. No, it's component M. Component M. College company, a major supplier of component M. We can't take this 240. This was component X. Okay, college company payables are given 3200. So payables are already given. Multiply it with overdraft cost 6%. How much you are saving if you pay after 72 days 192? You are saving 192. Okay. You can calculate the purchases as well. If you have the payable and if you have the days, you can reverse calculation. Payables and days, you can calculate the annual. Look at the formula. Payable days is equal to payable divided by purchases into 360. You have the payable 3200. You have the payable days. So you can calculate the purchases. So 3200 divided by 72 into 360. It's 16,000, 16 million. So purchases are 16 million. Okay, you can also do in this way. Purchases into 72 divided by 360. These are the payable into 6%. So that would be 192. Answer would be same. But now you have to pay in 30 days. So what is the benefit now? In 30 days. 16 million into 30 divided by 360 into 0.06, 80,000. But you will also get one more benefit, that is discount. Into 1% discount. 160,000. So if we take the total benefit as 240 and the previous benefit was 192. So obviously we will go to discount because it's a benefit. We will go for discount, but how much is the benefit? 48,000 is the answer. Is the answer. Okay. Next is, in relation to managing foreign account receivable, which of the following statement is correct? Foreign account receivable means you are in your country and you are selling to a foreign customer and there is a receivable on your book. Number one, companies expecting to receive foreign currency from foreign account receivable will be concerned about the risk of foreign currency appreciating against the domestic currency. No, this is the wrong answer. Foreign currency appreciating means domestic currency depreciating. Agar if domestic currency is depreciating, it is beneficial for you. For example, currently if Pakistani rupee is 280 rupee against dollar, if it moves to 300, PKR is depreciating, but it is beneficial for the exporter. For example, you are a freelancer. You are sitting in Pakistan. Currently, and you have done the assignment of $100. Currently, there is a rate of 280 rupees per dollar. So if I send you $100, you will get 28,000. But if dollar moves to 300, you will get 30,000. So exporter will benefit if home currency depreciate. Always remember this. Exporter will benefit if home currency depreciate. Importer will get benefit if home currency opposite. And you can make the loss statement by yourself. Opposite. So A is not the answer. The safest way to conduct business with foreign account receivable is by making a sale where goods are shipped and delivered before payment is due. Open account. This is highly risky. Open account is your foreign customer has contacted you. You have sold the goods. You have shipped the goods. But your payment is due. There is a risk that the supplier can, the customer can do a fraud with you. Highly risky. There is no need to assess the credit worthiness of foreign customer. No, this is highly risky. You need to assess the foreign customer. You know, all the foreign customers are normally based in US, Europe, and they are buying from China, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh. So normally there is the impression that all the US people are, all the US companies would be honest. No, this is not the reason. you should be skeptical. You should assess everyone by giving the credit. So D is the final answer, whatever is left. Discounting bill of exchange can reduce the foreign account receivable default risk. Discounting bill of exchange. Bill of exchange is a piece of paper. It's a kind of a foreign account receivable invoice which is endorsed by the foreign bank. And you can discount it from your bank. It's like this. You are standing here. This is your company. This is foreign company. You have done the sale. And this company is selling you, sending you a kind of a invoice which is guaranteed by its local bank. It is called banker acceptance. Banker's acceptance. This bank, the foreign bank, is not local bank, foreign bank. Foreign bank is giving you the guarantee that if customer unable to pay, we will pay. The banker acceptance of bill of exchange. So this would call bill of exchange. So it is written on bill of exchange that your payment will be due in 90 days, 30 days, whatever the day. And you can sell this to your bank at discount. For example, if invoice or bill of exchange is of $100, you can sell it for $90, $95. So bill of exchange or banker acceptance is a common way of handling the foreign account risk. Next is, in relation to the MS company proposed change to the treasury management operation, which of the following statement is correct? Previously, you were doing decentralized. Decentralized means this is a center and you have different branches, 1, 2, 3, 4. If every branch is managing its own treasury, that is decentralization. If all the work of treasury is managed by the center or the head office, that is centralized treasury function. So what is the benefit of centralized treasury function? It will save cost. Some expert will handle your task, because if company needs to hire ACCA, so everyone can't afford the ACCA. You know, ACCAs are expensive. So only center can afford. So you can hire only few ACCAs in center to save cost. These are experts. But the problem of center is, center will take the decision. It will delay the timing. First of all, they raise the issue. It will reach here. Then they will look after it. And then they will take decision. So the problem of centralization, there are two problems, two major problems. One, it will delay the decision. Second is, you will lose the autonomy, the decision power. In decentralization, you are taking your decision, but now someone else is taking your decision. So you will lose the autonomy. Autonomy is, Urdu mein hum kehte hain khud mukhtari. It's like you have the power of taking decision. So if you are moving to the centralization, you will lose this power. Okay. In relation to the MS company proposed change to treasury, you are moving from decentralized to centralized. Local management will be incentivized to maximum. No. MS company will be more responsive to the localized need. No. The problem is, in centralization, there is less responsive because central staff has to manage too many things. MS company will suffer a loss of autonomy. Yes. He's the answer. The change should increase the cost of hedging cost. No, cost of hedging will reduce, because center will look after the things. Center can do the netting, matching. So cost will reduce. C is the answer. In relation to the working capital funding strategy, which of the following statement is correct? Which of the following statement is correct? An aggressive strategy seeks to maximize liquidity at the expense of profitability. No. Aggressive strategy seeks to maximize profitability. Short-term finances has a higher cost than long-term finance. Long-term finance has always higher cost. Fluctuating current assets should be financed from a short-term source. Okay. A moderate or matching financing strategy finances current asset from a short-term finance. No. Remember, let me answer every. Aggressive strategy seeks to maximize profitability. They have focused more on profitability. And conservative has a more focus on liquidity. Short-term finance has a higher cost. No, long-term finance has a higher cost. A moderate or matching finances current asset from a short-term finance. No. In moderate or matching strategy, you will divide assets into two parts. Permanent current assets, fluctuating current asset. Permanent current asset should be financed with long-term, and fluctuating current assets should be financed with short. That is a matching policy. Moderate policy. Okay, C is the answer. C is the answer. Let's move to the next question. Match the characteristics below with the appropriate working capital strategy. Relative high level of current assets. High level of current assets. High level of current asset means you are not taking enough risk. So this is more likely conservative strategy. And conservative investment strategy. This is correct. Relatively low level of current assets. Low level of current assets. If you are making lower level of current assets, that is aggressive policy investment. Sir, how do you know it's an investment policy? Because you are not talking about investment. You are not talking about financing. You're talking about investment. Kitna current assets? How much you want to hold the assets? That's why it's a investment strategy. Relatively large amount of short-term finance, aggressive financing policy. Finance, large amount of short-term finance, aggressive. Small amount of short-term finance, conservative. This is already a correct answer. Two companies, A and B, have the following average level of working capital. Maximum working capital is given, minimum working capital is given. A working capital is financed 4 million of long-term debt, and B company working capital is financed 9 million of long-term debt. The balance of the finance is from short-term sources. Identify by clicking the relevant box in the table which type of the working capital funding strategy each company is employed. Okay. Let's learn one thing. What is this minimum level of working capital? This is permanent current assets. This is permanent current assets. Minimum means you have to maintain this working capital level every time. Okay, maximum is the total. So fluctuating current asset is the difference between maximum and minimum. So A permanent current assets are 6. Fluctuating current assets are 4. B permanent current assets are 9 and fluctuating current assets are 3. Okay, minimum is permanent and the difference between maximum and minimum is fluctuating. A company working capital is financed with 4 million of long-term debt. So that means this company has a 4 million of long-term debt. Total assets are, permanent current assets are 4. Sorry, 6. Fluctuating current assets are 4. So what should be the matching policy? Let me tell you first of all, matching policy. You should finance permanent with the long term and fluctuating with the short term. Okay, sir. What is aggressive? You should finance majorly majorly from short term. More financing from short. Okay, what is conservative? You will finance more financing from long term. Okay. In a company, you have financed 4 million from the long term. So that means 6 million from the short term. Long term is 4. Just look at the A company. Short term would be 6. So major financing is from short term. Although how much you should finance with the short term? 4. Because fluctuating current assets are 4. Technically, you should go for 4 million from the short term, but you have gone 6 million for the short term. So A is following the aggressive policy. A is following the aggressive policy. Okay, B. B company is financed 9 million from the long-term debt. 9 million short-term debt is 3. So if we look at B, B company long-term is 9. Minimum should be financed with long-term. It's a permanent current assets. And fluctuating should be financed with short-term. So B company is following the matching policy. B company is following the matching policy. So you need to think, just think in your mind, minimum working capital is a permanent current assets. Maximum working capital is the total current assets. The difference between maximum and minimum is fluctuating current assets. Matching policy is permanent current assets should be financed with long-term, fluctuating current assets should be financed with short-term. What is aggressive policy? If you have financed more with the short-term, aggressive. If you have financed more with the long-term, conservative. So what is matching? Permanent should be financed with long-term, fluctuating with the short. That's why answer is aggressive and matching. Example number 2. Which two of the following are correct description of net working capital? Correct description of net working capital. Obviously, current asset minus current liability. This is okay. Inventory days plus account receivable days minus account payable. This is a description of working capital days. Current asset over current liability is current ratio. Long-term capital invested in net current assets. Long-term capital invested in net current assets. If we say that company is maintaining working capital every year, so technically you are investing your long-term capital in the current assets. For example, 2022, 21, 2022, 2023, 2024. If company net current assets is, for example, 100, 110, 120, 105. So if you see, there is some minimum working capital or the net current assets which company is maintaining. That is every year 100. But because of the demand, company is maintaining 5 more, 10 more, 20 more. So in order to maintain the minimum current assets, the amount which company will put, that would be long-term capital. So why is the long-term capital? Because every year you have to maintain this amount. Every year your money will be stuck. Your money will be invested. So that's why A and D both are the answer. A and D both are the answer. Okay. Next is, for the coming year, company has budgeted sales of 2 million per month. 80% of which will be on the credit. It expects its account receivable payment period to be 3 months. So sales are 2 million. 80% will be on credit. It expects its account receivable payment period would be 3 months. Forecast average inventory and average account payable for the coming year is this. What is the company working capital requirement? Working capital requirement. Working capital requirement means identify the amount of receivable. Identify the amount of inventory. Identify the amount of payable. The good thing is, company has given us the amount of inventory, 10 million, the amount of payable, but the company has not, the examiner has not given us the amount of receivable. But we can calculate. Sales are 2 million, of which 80% is on credit. And you are receiving money in 3 months' time. So that would be 1.6 into, that would be 4.8. So 4.8 plus 10 million minus 4 million. So 10.8 million. 10.8 million is the answer. Okay, 10.8 million is the answer. Next, Zarco. The inventory ordering policy of Zarco is to order 100,000 units when the inventory level falls to 20,000 units. You will order 100,000 units order quantity. When inventory falls to this level, this is reorder level. Cost of placing and processing an order is 200 ordering cost. While the cost of holding inventory is 0.5, orders are received 1 week after being placed. This is lead time. Production inventory for the next week is 6,000. Production requirement is, annual demand is 600,000 units. So what we will do, we will calculate the inventory ordering policy. What is the cost of Zarco inventory ordering policy? The question is not saying you to calculate ordering cost. What is the total cost of ordering policy? So let's calculate the ordering cost and holding cost. Okay, ordering cost is, annual demand is 600,000 units. Order quantity is 100,000 units. So your number of order would be 6. Into per order cost is 200. So 6 into 2, 1200. Holding cost formula is order quantity divide by 2 plus buffer stock into holding cost per unit, that is 0.5. Okay. Why I am thinking that there can be a buffer stock? Why I am thinking that there can be a buffer stock? Because reorder level is given. In all of the simple question, reorder level was not given. So just check, is there any buffer stock? We have learned the formula of buffer stock today. Reorder level minus average consumption during lead time. What is the lead time? 1 week. Okay. Annual demand is 60,000, 600,000 units, and there are 50 weeks. So demand in 1 week is 600,000 divided by 12,000. So 20 minus 12, 8,000 is the buffer stock. Look, sir, how do you know there is a buffer stock? Lead time is given, reorder level is given. So you should be skeptical. Why this information is given? Because of the buffer stock. So 100,000 divided by 2 plus 8,000 into 0.5. 29,000. So 29 plus 1,200. 30,200. 30,200. That is the answer. Okay. Which of the following are true? A conservative working capital policy employs a high proportion of permanent current assets to fluctuating current assets. a conservative working capital investment policy. Conservative investment policy means, let me tell you one thing. There are two types of policy. Working capital investment policy, working capital financing policy. So I am giving you the summary. Aggressive, conservative, matching. What is the meaning of aggressive working capital investment policy? Low level of current assets, high level of current assets. Conservatives are more like coward. डरते हैं. So they try to hold more level of current assets. Aggressive are risk taker. They're trying to hold less level of working capital. Matching is optimal level. What is working capital financing policy and aggressive? Majority with short-term finance long-term debt. Okay, this is finance permanent current asset with long-term, finance fluctuating with short-term. Okay, they're trying to finance fluctuating and permanent with short-term. They try to finance majority of. Okay. And they try to finance majority of fluctuating permanent with long-term finance. Okay. Please take the screenshot of this. This will solve all of your MCQs from this area. Okay, now identify the answer. Conservative working capital investment policy employs a high proportion of permanent current assets. Yes, this is true. Long-term finance is generally cheaper than short-term finance. This is long-term finance is expensive. This is false. Okay. So second is incorrect. But there is one issue. This is wrong. A conservative working capital policy employs a high proportion of current assets. This should be true. High proportion of current assets. Conservative working capital investment policy does not differentiate that whether you should hold permanent or fluctuating. It only tells about the current assets. High level of current assets, low level of current assets. But examiner is playing with words. Permanent. The investment policy only tells about the level of working capital, level of current assets, not the permanent or fluctuating. So that's why both are false. Both are false. Okay. So this word is important. Although it looks like it's a correct, and even if this word is not given, this is a correct statement. But the conservative policy, conservative working capital policy will guide us that we should hold higher proportion of current assets. But it is not differentiating that which current assets, permanent or fluctuating, only the current assets. So that's why because of the word permanent, it is incorrect. Question name is Greenco is a furniture manufacturer whose auditors have pointed that its working capital position is far from satisfactory. The main problem is the high level of inventory, which has led to the company building up a larger and larger bank overdraft. Obviously, if you have a high level of inventory, you have to finance that inventory with overdraft. Manager at Green Company have been to numerous public lectures discussing various types of inventory control system and technologies, but have felt that most of them are impractical. Indicate by clicking in the relevant boxes whether the following are or are not assumption behind the traditional EOQ formula. Constant demand and zero lead time. Constant demand is an assumption. But lead time can be minimum. It can be zero, it can be minimum. It should be, you should know the lead time and it should be minimum. So we can say that first is an assumption and second is not an assumption. The production manager has established the following information about a major inventory item. Purchase price is given, annual demand is given, supplier delivery cost per order is given, chief buyer salary per year is given, total number of orders placed per year is given, annual storage cost per unit is given, cost of capital is given. What is the economic order quantity for this inventory system? First of all, if you recall the formula, 2 into annual demand, 4,000, into ordering cost per unit, supplier delivery cost, chief buyer salary, annual storage cost, cost of capital. So annual demand is known. Supplier delivery cost is ordering cost. Okay. So what is the holding cost per unit? Annual storage cost is the holding cost. 2. Storage cost is a part of holding cost. Plus one thing more. Cost of capital, interest cost is also part of holding cost. Storage cost, interest cost. Interest cost, you will always calculate interest cost on the purchase price. And it should be annual because holding cost per unit is annual. It is total 50. 50 is the holding cost per unit. Holding cost per unit. So 2 into 4,000 into 10 divided by 50. So answer would be okay, 40 units is the answer. Assume that Green Company adopts the UQ as its order quantity for that item of inventory, that it takes 1 week for an order to be delivered. How much inventory will Green Company have on hand when the order is placed? Assume there are 52 weeks in a year. So technically, he's asking you about the reorder level. Reorder level. Assume that Green Company adopts the UQ as its order quantity, 40 units. and that it takes 1 week for an order to be delivered. And you need 1 week to deliver the orders. How much inventory will green company have on hand when the order is placed? Okay. So that means you should have at least 1 week of inventory if you're placing the order. Because look at the wording. Assume the green company adopts the UQ. Okay. And that it takes 1 week for an order to be delivered. Ek hafta lagega. It will take 1 week to deliver. And what is the annual demand? 4,000 units. How many weeks are there? 52. So you should have 77 units in your box, in your inventory bin, so that you can place the order. 77 is the answer. Otherwise, remember the buffer stock formula, safety stock. Safety stock is reorder level minus average usage into average lead time. But there is no safety stock here. I have assumed it is 0. And consumption during lead time is 77. So reorder level should be 77. As there is no lead time, so by doing the reverse working, reorder level is 77. Which of the following statement refer to different types of inventory control system and procedure? A just-in-time system implies relatively low reorder cost. No, in just-in-time, there will be a higher reorder cost. Yes, holding cost would be lower, but reorder cost would be higher. Periodic review means ordering inventory when it falls below the designated safety inventory level. Yeah, this can be correct. Use of the EOQ order quantity model means that periodic review means ordering inventory when it falls below the designated. Okay. Use of the economic order quantity model means that holding or ordering cost should be the same. This is correct. Third is correct. Let's read it again. The following statement refer to different types of inventory control system and procedure. A just-in-time system employs relatively low reorder cost. Low reorder cost. Actually, this is a problem with the statement here. It's an English problem. If you look at the wording of the part way, the first statement, a just-in-time system employs relatively low reorder cost. Implies relatively low reorder cost. You know, in just-in-time, orders are frequent. ये तो आप सब मानते हैं ना, orders would be, the frequency of order would be very high. Right? So the reorder cost, if the reorder costs are high, if the per order cost is high, just-in-time is not viable. क्या ख्याल? Just think, in just-in-time, you have to give frequent orders. Right? Right, sir. In order to be an effective just-in-time, your per order cost should be minimum. Because you have to order it again and again. So it is saying that just-in-time system implies relatively low reorder cost. It implies that order cost should be lower. Actually, ज़्यादा होती है. We know this. But this is a problem of this is a problem of the wording. A just-in-time implies that relatively low order cost, यानी कि order cost should be lower. It shouldn't be high. Per order cost should be minimum. देखो, frequency of orders would be high. Number of orders should be high. Into per order cost. It's talking about this per order cost. In order to apply the just in time, this should be lower. We know that this would be higher. Number of orders to zyada honge. But in order to apply the just in time, per order cost should be lower. Otherwise, this will not work. Okay. A just in time will be effective if per order cost is lower. ये statement बननी चाहिए. This should be the statement. फिर ये this is correct. Okay. Second, periodic review. Periodic review means you will review after one period. After a period. Means ordering inventory when it falls below the designated safety level. No. Periodic review means you will review after a period and then you will do the changes. You will change the inventory level after a fixed interval. Periodic review means you will change the inventory level after a fixed interval. Changing inventory after fixed interval. Okay. This is the definition of periodic review. So जो लिखा है that is incorrect. This should be correct. Just in time जो लिखा है, I don't agree with this. This should be correct. But the problem is the writer who has written this question, who has written this ambiguous kind of wording. So apparently answer is 1 and 3. But ये जो, what is the meaning of the first statement? I told you, I explained you. Okay. हाँ, वैसे just in time में ordering cost will always be greater, holding cost would be lower. But try to understand the wording. A just in time will be effective. Just in time तभी effective होगा. It will be effective if per order cost is lower. So why you are talking about per order? Because number of orders तो ज़्यादा होने ही होने, because you will face higher number of orders. If per order cost is lower, then you can apply the just in time. Socho, just think. If number of orders are higher, if per order cost is higher, just in time will not be applicable because it will create a huge cost. Got it? No, it's not a bulk order discount. You will go to the supplier and you will say, look, I will kind of buy from you frequently. Like in a day, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. So normal delivery charges are 50 rupees, but give me 10 rupees or 15 rupees. So it's not a bulk discount on inventory. It's kind of a bulk order discount. I will not give 1 order, 2 order. I will give maximum order. Yes. Just in time is useful when reorder cost is low. Excellent. The following possible benefits have been attributed to just in time. Yeah, this is the typical question. Reduce inventory level, less waste, reduce production time, improved quality of output. So reduce inventory level समझ आता है. This is correct. How can be less waste, reduce production time, improve quality of output? Because company will follow TQM. Okay. Because company will follow total quality management. All are correct. If company follow total quality management, there will be less waste. There will be less time to produce the goods, and there would be an improved quality of output because you will hire skilled labor. You will hire skilled labor. Just in time is only applicable when you follow TQM. Otherwise, just in time will become disaster for your company. Okay, next question. Hallco is a retail organization that buys goods from abroad for cash and sells them locally to both individuals and businesses. It has grown rapidly since its formation on January, with the results summarized below. Sales, cost of sale, gross profit, everything is given. In the first year, sales were made on purely cash basis. The credit sales were introduced for business. However, Hall company has now found that its working capital position has deteriorated as business customer takes longer and longer to pay. When making decision that affect the company finances, a discount rate of 10% is used, which is the best estimate of the cost of capital. Assume credit sales equal business sales. Indicate by clicking in the relevant boxes whether the following would influence or would not influence Hall company credit policy for account received. So just you are the manager of Hall company. So you are making in receivable policy. So when you are making receivable policy, will you see the competitor terms? Yes. Will you see the risk of bad debts? Yes. Will you see the financing cost? Yes, because if receivable days are 10, you have to borrow for 10 days. If receivable days are 50, you have to borrow for 50 days. Will you see supplier terms? No. What is the link of supplier with the receivable? No. During the period up to and including 20x5, the expected receivable period has been maintained. However, by 20x5, the actual business proportion of sales has grown from 50 to 60%. Credit periods are as follows. 40% of customer take 1 month's credit, 40% of customers take 2 months credit, 20% of customer takes 3 months credit. What is the annual cost in dollar of financing receivable? 20x5. What is the sales in 20x5? 1600. The business sale is credit sale, that is written. Credit sale is business sale. Into 60%. So your credit sale is 60% of this, 960. Okay, 40% of the customer taking 1 month. Remaining 40% are taking 2 months. And 20% of the customers are taking 3 months. What is the annual cost? Obviously, you have to face the interest cost on this. So 960 into 0.4 into 0.4 divided by 12 into 0.1. 3.2. 960 into 0.4 divided by 2 divided by 6. 2 by 12 is 6 into 0.1. 6.4. By 12. 4.8. So your total cost would be 14.4. So if we convert into 1,000, so 144,000. 144,000. 144,000 is the cost. See, if all company were to offer discount 1.5% for payment within 1 month, that what would be the annual cost of that is in respect of receivable who currently takes 2 months or 3 months to pay. 14,400, yes. 14,400. If Hall were to offer discount 1.5% for payment within 1 month, what would be the annual cost that in respect of receivable who currently takes 2 months or 3 months? Simply apply the discount formula. Firstly, solve for 2 months. Previously, you were paying in 2 months. Now you are paying in 1 month. So 12 over 1. Sir, why you are not taking 365 days? Now data is given in months. In numerator, you will take total months divided by reduction in days. 12 over 2. This is for 3 months. Try to understand the concept. Previously, you were paying in 2 months' time. Now you will pay in 1 month's time if you want to take a discount. So what is the cost of discount or the benefit of discount? Previously, you were paying in 3 months. Now you will receive in 1 month. Now you have to pay in 1 month. So what is the cost of discount or benefit of discount? So 100 over 98.5 raised to power 12. 19.89. A is the answer. Because there is no need of solving this, but let's solve it. 9.49. A is the answer. All companies considering the use of debt factoring or invoice discounting, the following statement have been made in relation to these services. It is apparent in both instances that someone else is collecting your debt. No, in invoice discounting, you are collecting your debt. So first statement is wrong. The debt remain an asset of all company under factoring. No. If you sold the debt to the other party and the arrangement is without recourse, so that means debt is not your asset. Okay. So both of the statements are incorrect. With recourse, so is like normal financing. देखो with recourse क्या होता है? This is your company. This is your customer. And you are selling. And this is factor. You appoint the factor that you should collect money from the customer. And normal arrangement is without recourse. The benefit of without recourse is it is your risk whether this customer is paying or not. That means you have sold the factor. Your risk is over. It's not your asset. But if it's a with recourse, that means if this customer becomes bad debt, you can come back. Similar like invoice discount. So debt remains an asset of all company if it's an invoice discounting or with recourse. Last is which of the following is not a function of credit control department? Advising existing customer on payment terms, determining whether to accept cash discount. No, whether to accept cash discount is not your function. That is a function of payable. That is a function of payable department, not your. It's not your department.